I don't think guys realize how important it is to get physical with the girl. Okay. I think a lot of guys are afraid to get physical. They're waiting until that perfect moment to ever kiss the girl. And as a result of that, they don't do anything and they just wait and wait and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk until it's like the end of the date or the girl says she's going to get going. And now the dude's like, it's time to make the move. How am I going to make the move? And there's all this pressure built up. There's like this drum roll effect that's been building up the whole fucking date because you don't know whether or not she's going to reject you or kiss you. Okay. Because you're trying to go from 0 to 100 in one move. And that's why it's called making the move. For anybody that's new to pickup or game or escalation, that is not the way to do things. I was that guy. Let's talk about this really quick. I have two specific instances that come to my mind. Maybe you guys can resonate. One of them was on a date. The other one was with a girl that I was like interacting with at a nighttime venue. Let me know in the comments of the video if you're watching on the recording if you relate to either of these stories, if you have made mistakes like this. Okay, let's talk about scenario numero uno. This was my hottest date up until that point. That was the hottest girl I had been on a date with. And I was nervous, bro. I was nervous. I was intimidated. I was nervous. I legitimately thought she was out of my league at the time. So, yeah, I'm on a date with her. She came over to my house. She came over to smoke weed and have some food. Honestly, dude, she was down to like fucking hook up. I was just such a pussy. I was such a pussy. Not that she was trying to hook up with me. She didn't like try to kiss me or anything, but she was there just to see what was going to happen. She was coming to hang out. That's a fucking date, man. If the girl's driving to your house, that's a fucking date. Okay. You can call it what you want to call it, but it's a one-on-one hangout with a girl in an intimate setting at the house. Right. So she comes over. It's daytime. We're cooking a meal. We're hanging out. I'm having food. I'm a good conversationalist at this point. So I'm talking to her. I'm, back and forth in conversation, communication. My eye contact's on point, but I am not starting any physicality with this girl. I have not touched this girl. I have not gotten close to this girl. I have not done anything. And there was even a moment in hindsight after the date was over. I didn't even realize that this was an opportunity to do something, but I literally remember I was at the cutting board and she was next to me at the sink. And I remember saying something to her and she very cute, innocently like looked over her shoulder at me in the most like seductive way. And I remember when she did that, I looked at her and like I froze and like looked away and then didn't say anything. And she kept doing, she like cleaned some dishes and then she went and sat back down. And then I made the food and then I sat next to her. And then at one point there was another opportunity for me to do something and I did not do shit. Okay. No physicality. We never touched. We never did anything. About an hour and a half went by of small talk, get to know you. At which point she was like, okay, I'm going to head out of here. I got to get going. And in my mind, I'm like, and like, I didn't even escalate at all. Like, she's going to get going. Shit. Like, do I fucking try to kiss her on the way out? What do I do? I was like, all right, cool. Let me walk you out. I walk her down the stairs. We go to my garage. I press the button. I open the garage. Right away, she leans in. She's like, okay, take care. And like deliberately turns her cheek to the side so I could just give her a kiss on the cheek. And then I gave her a kiss on the cheek and then she was like, okay. And she left. And dude, when she left that day, I was so pissed off at myself. When she was on the way to house, I was like, yeah, I'm going to like hook up with this girl. This girl's like kinky. She's bisexual. I could even, I might end up having my first threesome with this girl. Like I was like built up this fucking crazy idea in my mind at the time. And that's what put so much pressure on me I never made the move. And when she left, I was like, fucking A, man. Ended up getting her to come back to my house a second time. And this time I was like, I'm not fucking this up, man. I don't care what happens. It's going down today. She comes through. We eat some food. We're on the front deck, connecting, vibing, hanging out together. Hour and a half goes by. She gets this weird phone call from like her fucking stepdad or some shit. And she was like, oh my God, I'm going to have to get going soon. I didn't know he needed a ride, blah, 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 blah. This and that. She hangs up the phone. We start vibing. Conversational topic changes. I keep her there a little bit longer. And then she's like, yeah, I do got to get going. I wasn't like pissed off. I was like, okay, sounds good. And I'm like, fuck, man, like I still never even touched this girl. Like, what the fuck? So I'm like, she's telling me she needs to go. I'm walking down the stairs again, headed to the garage. And I'm like, fuck, man. I was like, dude, not again, bro. Like, we're not doing this again. You're fucking doing this. I don't care what happens. You're going for it. I walk her over to the garage. I press the button. Garage is going up. She's like, thanks so much. Take care. And I'm like, dude, fuck this. I don't care what happens. I'm just not going for it again because that pain and frustration was so whack and I hated myself so much. I'm not doing that again. I'm done being that fucking guy. I've made a decision in my mind. It's time. Let's do this. I gave her a kiss on the cheek and then I pulled away and my hand was like right here. And I just looked at her. I was like, come here. Boom. We started fucking making out. And then she left and made a phone call outside and stayed on the phone and then was like outside on in the driveway on the phone for like 5 minutes. Like she wouldn't leave. And I was still outside. And I got up and I went back over to her and she was like hanging around by the car. And like I went behind her on the car, pressed up on her from behind, started talking in her ear while she was on the phone. And she put the phone down. We started making out even more. And then finally she broke off and got into her car and then she left and went home. I never saw that girl again. I never got that girl out again because I started getting really needy and I was like really in my head about the whole thing. And I was like so excited. And it was such a big deal. And then she never came over again. You know what happened is she ended up going back to her ex. I almost had this girl, but she just had an emotional attachment to this guy. She went back to him and I had the opportunity. I just was not that guy. It was not my time. Okay. It was not my time. First thing I will say that was a positive from that was at some point, at least I fucking went for it. If you do end up not going for it, beat yourself up to the point where literally the next time that happens, you're like, you know what? Fuck this. The next time that happens, I'm done being that guy. And I made that decision. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And by the way, if you want to work with me personally to implement any of the techniques in this video to become more socially confident, get more women in your life, build a bigger social circle, and really just dominate life in any aspect socially, I can help you with that. I'm the fucking guy for that, okay? Been doing this for a long time. I've transformed myself going from a video game nerd loser to becoming one of the top guys in the industry with this stuff, okay? So if you're interested in working with me personally, click the link below, click the link in the description, fill out the application, and we will be contacting you to discuss further details. Until next time, Coach Kyle, signing out. Peace.